We have today House Bill 54, Wyoming Reads Day. I see sponsors and our Representative Washut. If you can tell us about this bill, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Committee. I bring you today House Bill 54. This is one of those warm and fuzzy kind of bills that we see from time to time. Back in 1996, Casper had a dynamic educator named Sue Jorgensen who loved kids and she loved reading. Tragically, she died in a car crash. Her grieving husband, John Jorgensen, honored his late wife by establishing a foundation in recognition of her commitment to children's literacy and books. The foundation began giving away beautiful illustrated books to every first grade child in our school district. This became known as the Casper Cares, Casper Reads project. Teachers, school administrators, parents joined in to make it a huge success. In 2006, Casper Cares, Casper Reads program was taken to a new level, expanding statewide for the first time as Wyoming Reads. The program has since grown to include celebrations in all of Wyoming's 23 counties, distributing beautiful books to thousands of first graders every spring. As the 25th anniversary year of this amazing initiative draws to a close, it is fitting that the Wyoming legislature recognize John and Sue Jorgensen and the citizens of Wyoming who are dedicated to the importance of early childhood literacy by establishing the third Tuesday in May of each year as Wyoming Reads Day. The day shall be appropriately observed in the public schools of the state, by state and local governments, and by organizations within the state. The legislature in this bill recommends that Wyoming communities hold Wyoming Reads Day celebrations to advance the cause of childhood literacy and encourage early enthusiasm for reading. There's no fiscal impact. No state employees will get a paid holiday, none of that. And we often hear about the value of private sector initiatives as being preferable to government-funded initiatives in some cases. And this is a perfect example of that, where the private sector, independent of government, finds a good cause, raises money, and gives out thousands of free, beautiful books to children to inspire them. And I might add that these books that are given out, they have a variety each year so that students get a book that's on their reading level. And they have a choice, so they get to pick a book that applies to them. Last spring, several representatives went to a Wyoming Reads Day event at our art museum in downtown Casper. And I got the chance to talk to some of the kids and their parents as they got their free books. And I was impressed that some of the moms remembered getting their free book when they were in first grade. It's been going on that long. And some of them said they still have that book that was given to them in first grade. So I think this is a terrific cause to recognize these efforts, and I ask for your support in dedicating, or I don't know if you dedicate or identify the third Tuesday in May of each year as Wyoming Reads Day. I'll stand for questions.
Committee, any questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Under office.
I was just curious if all of our representatives were able to find books at their level.
That question's out of order.
It's out of order. Fair enough.
I will ask, is there particular significance to the third Tuesday in May? Why was that particular day picked?
I don't know the history behind that, but that is the day that has been used by this organization throughout. So there was some discussion about the possibility of doing it on Dr. Seuss's birthday, and that there are other reading events that go around that day. But this is the day that this organization has always used, and that's why it's in this bill.
So they're giving it to first graders just before the summer vacation.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much. State Department, any comments? Anybody else want to testify on this bill? Mr. Wendy.
Mr. Chairman, Bill Winnie, Sublette County. I'd like to note that Rotary clubs across the state in third grade give out dictionaries to students. They're very nice dictionaries, about yay thick, and students seem to really like them. But I'd also like to note that I've been in a mixed marriage all these many years. I have loved to read. I'm a voracious reader. Stood me in good stead when I started having to read all the manuals that apply to a nuclear-powered submarine. My wife had always had difficulty reading, and she chose to go get a master's in reading education mid-career at I can't think of the name of the school, Charleston, South Carolina Military School. Turns out their biggest business is adult education. Well, she got a 4.0, something I never quite achieved. And she's been a pretty doggone good reading and literacy coach over the years. I would offer you a thought. If you're serious about reading in Wyoming, you would take your Wyoming legislation that puts instructional facilitators in schools and put an instructional facilitator in every school in the state. Maybe the small schools would timeshare between themselves, and you would make them paid for by the state. So there's no incentive for administrators to cost share and do other things or assign them other duties, as I've seen done. Reading is important. It makes a big difference to the Navy and the other armed services, but on the other flip side of that, if you go look in prisons, you find that those that are in prisons, an awful lot of them can't read. And so I submit to you that this is a good bill and there's more work to be done. Subject to your questions, thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Boyd Brown, Wyoming School Boards Association. Again, I emailed you in case I wouldn't be able to get here, but we are in support of this. I think that it's a nice gesture, especially for the Jorgensens who have had such a philanthropic effect on the state by giving books to everyone. So support the bill and support the idea. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Seeing none, thank you very much. Anybody else? Anybody else? Public testimony is closed. Committee, do I hear a motion? Bill's been moved. Any discussion? Yeah. It really is, because so many kids don't have books in the home, and so they're getting at that particular, as well as telling the kids that this is important. So, okay, been moved to pass. Seeing no further discussion, call the roll, please.
Mr. Chairman, on House Bill 54, Wyoming Reads Day, Senator Beitman.
Aye.
Senator Brennan.
Aye.
Senator Rothfuss.
Aye.
Senator Steinmetz.
Aye.
Chairman Scott.
Aye.
5 aye.
Committee, that's the only bill we have in possession at the moment. So there is a major bill in the House we might get, and we might, if it passes the House. So we may or may not have further bills to deal with this year.
There's really only one more education bill.
Well, there may be something we haven't found. But there is one major one over there, I think, that is controversial enough, so I'm not sure we'll get it.
The
And we'll have to start thinking about joining them. So,
Isn't there a parental right